Oh, hey, real quick though, before we get into the ride, what do you think about these socks? Oh boy, look at that swag, boy. Oh yeah, let's go. In all of your years of being alive, I know you've had the feeling, I am never gonna get rid of this. And this could be a toy when you were a kid, a car, or something you rebuilt or made. This bike, for me, the Razor Pro Spec by Electron Company, is that for me. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why. Mode 3, I know biatch. All right guys, so here we are at the Voltron watch testing grounds. This is a top secret area that nobody ever, except this guy here, he kind of knows, I guess, where the territory is at. Anyway, he's not going to disrupt us in our experiment today. Here we have the TruMoto app. Just open it up, and the first thing you're going to see is if your controller's on, you'll see a controller identified on the screen. The app is going to load up, and what I want to do today is go over the drag mode. But before I do that, I want to come up here to this little menu, and I want to make sure my settings are where I want them. For today, we are going to be running 180 battery amps because that's what my battery's output is. Torque, for the sake of everything else, I'm going to just do as max as I can. That's max. Throttle aggression, 100%. Of course, I'm a professional, obviously. Not really. Regen, I'll just leave regen where it's at. Scrolling down here, we actually have a Pro Spec option. So we're gonna select the Pro Spec. My battery is the 76 volt, 24 amp hour. And then we have the motor there is the 1, the throttle E&C EMX Lite. That is correct. My gear ratio front is an 11, rear is an 80, and it'll do the math for you. Sets it up right there. Pro Spec, the wheel diameter is already set. And then one thing to keep in mind, if you guys are setting this up, the wheel diameter, what they're wanting is not the size of the rim. They want the distance between one side of the tire to the other. So the whole wheel and tire diameter, not just the rim. Controller here, Voltron 3, change motor direction, everything looks good there. We're gonna go ahead and save it, do a little spinny wheel, and then it'll say settings saved. And then we're gonna go back to the dashboard. Over here, I'm going to do the drag mode. It's going to record our 0 to 30, 0 to 45, and 0 to 60 times. Enabled 0 to 30, 0 to 40, and 0 to 60 times will be recorded. Let's send it, bud. Send it. Oh boy. Let's pull up our results. 0 to 30, 0 to 45, and 0 to 60 time. We went 0 to 30 in 2.5, 0 to 45 in 4.4, and 0 to 60 in 10.5. It'll show you on here your max speed and your about 14,000 watts and your sag per cell. That is the drag mode. That is the Extreme Kit on the Pro Spec. Let's go unbox it. I want to show you guys how it comes from the factory, and then ultimately I'm going to show you everything about how to install this thing. Okay guys, so opening this box for the first time, I want you guys to see how it comes from Electron Company. I suggest you follow the warnings. We'll go over that in a second. Coming here for this first box, this looks like the charger, 5 amp charger from Electron Company. Nice charger, aluminum case with the XT90. Moving on here, lots of nice cushion, padding. In here, we have, this is a 35H chain. This is a huge upgrade over the T8F chain that is on the bike currently. This looks like the mounts for the controller, the noisy Cricket controller in this case. This one comes with a voltmeter. Look at that sprocket. Shoo-wee. That's an 80 tooth sprocket. Can't wait to get that. That is a good looking piece of equipment. With the kit, the throttle comes with the controller with a 3-speed switch. Moving on here, this is a drill guide. Do not leave this on the bike. So you just put this up to your plate,
drill your hole so that you can fit the EC4P, which we'll cover in a second. Some battery leads, these are gonna go to your controller, positive and negative. It says here 76 volt, 24 amp hours. Let's go. There she is. New warning, I've never seen this warning on this battery before. BMS is on this side, do not put this side down. Inside here, I'm guessing is probably the controller. Very well packaged. I love these controllers, and I love the app that these controllers run on, the TruMoto Noisy Cricket. Beautiful piece of equipment. And when you buy your controller, it's gonna come with a harness. The harness is going to connect into the controller, and all of these leads here are going to connect into your throttle, your voltmeter, and your on-off switch. Everything you need. This is the one, literally the one. Ooh-wee. Look at that thing. Beautiful. If you notice here on the new EC4P, the one, it has a splined shaft. So look at the size of that shaft. And then this sprocket here, in the past, there had been a few issues where the sprocket was getting turned and it was rounding out either the sprocket or the shaft. In this case, it's a hardened shaft and it's splined. So now that we have it all unboxed, let's put it in the bike. So to look at it, you already can tell that it's not a stock RZR Pro Spec, especially if you've been in the modified RZR scene for a while. One of the things here that you'll notice that's different from this bike versus a stock bike is these forks. These forks are the Electron Company hydraulic forks for this bike specifically. The forks come as just 2 tubes, and it uses the stock triple trees. So as you just unscrew the bolts, take the old tubes out, you slide in the new tubes, run your axle back through, install your wheel, and you're done. The other thing I want to talk about with this bike, y'all, is the brakes. These brakes are from Electron Company, and they are designed and developed for this bike. This battery, it's not a custom battery. This is a purple wrap that I got on the Amazons, and one thing I like about the exposed battery is you can wrap your battery in any color design for whatever that you want. And in this case, you got Voltron purple on here. The motor here was upgraded to the EC4P, the one at Electro & Co. You can get the MY1020 Plus, you can get the EC4P Lite, and you can get the EC4P, the one. And that's what this one is. It's a little bit different. Well, it's a lot different than the other offerings from Electro & Company. in the way that it was built, designed, the output, and the inner workings of the motor itself are a lot more robust than the previous versions. In order to fit this motor, as you saw in the opener, you have to put a plate up to the existing mounting position here and drill a hole to accommodate the motor here. It's just one hole. Just follow the template and you'll be good to go. The chain and the gearing on this is the Electron Company 35H chain kit. On the front, it's a 10 tooth. On the rear, it's an 80 tooth. This is an aluminum gear, so it's going to reduce some of that weight, the spinning mass. A lighter gear back here is always more bueno. And like I mentioned earlier, we have the noisy cricket controller mounted up underneath here. Electron Company and Razor built this bike together in an effort to make it easier or more simple for us as a modification community to upgrade these bikes with controllers and motors and batteries. The battery fit in this bike without doing anything. I had to take the 2 screws off the left side there, as you saw, put the battery in, slapped it in, and now it's in there permanently. I don't think that battery's ever going to come out of there unless I want it to. But moving on back to the controller and the way that these two companies work together, the controller back here, the mounting points were already on the bike. So all I had to do was enlarge the holes a little bit, and then the controller bolts right in. The same thing goes with the motor on this motor placement in order to make this work for you. And it'll fit not just an EC4P, but it'll fit an MY1020 motor. So if you're new to this, the MY1020 motors are gonna be your EC4Ps, your FW11, the Coon Race got a new motor out, the KR5. So those motors all share the same bolt pattern and they will fit in this bike. And on the other side of the bike, which I'll show you right now, there's a plate that comes with the kit, the Extreme Kit, that you just bolt onto the swing arm, and it's going to relocate the mounting hole to the top more of an angle so that you have 4 points of contact to the frame when you're putting this motor in. If y'all made it this far into the video, I appreciate you, thank you. This is just some bonus footage that I took the family on. I found an abandoned neighborhood near our house, so we brought the Ragers out here and just kind of screwed around, taught the kids how to do some burnouts, and just some Austin shenanigans. Isla, can you that over there? Burn it up. Hell yeah, go. More gas. Ready? Send it. Uh-oh. More gas. More gas. All right.